friends, so as promised, I'm going to talk about and demonstrate, and hopefully once you've seen it and just watch me demonstrate, you're going to come along with me and do it the second time, and then keep repeating it until you really have the move down, and you can do it on your own without necessarily watching the YouTube video. Then from time to time, go back to my YouTube videos and get a refresher of the video you've already watched before, or by then you might find a new version that I might have come up with, mixed with other things or isolated in a specific manner. So just let's get started, and I'm just gonna warm up myself because I have not. So I'm gonna go against the wall because I want to talk and show you how to get into a plow pose. So initially I like to warm up against the wall. I like to use a pillow personally to rest my head on. It just helps my neck to have a pillow to support my neck. You do not have to if you don't want to, but I do. I mean, eventually when I go into the plow, which is basically you have your legs going over your body and you do a stretch inverted that way, I will have to remove the pillow, and I probably will just be using a towel at that point, which I'm gonna need to go grab, because obviously your neck would be way in too much forward flexion. If I did leave the pillow, that would not work. But for now, to warm up, I like to have a pillow. It's not on this side. I have 4 sides of this pillow that gives me great variety of supporting my neck, based if you go on your sides, you know, or side stretching a bit, side forward, or on my back. It really allows a lot of flexibility this way. So here already, as I'm talking, I'm already warming up the tissues in my thighs, in my calves, and I'm gonna add a little bit of an extra stretch now. So obviously, if you cannot have your legs at 90 degrees like I am doing right now, there's many other options where basically you don't have to be against the wall all the way with your thighs and your bottom. You obviously could be here, and if your knees don't even want to straighten all the way, just keep your knees bent however much you want or you need until you feel the stretch in your hamstring, and as you flex here into your feet, you will stretch your gastrocnemius, your soleus muscle right in here. That's deep to the gastrocnemius, and it's lower in the leg portion of your thighs, of your lower extremities. So once you straighten the knees, then you're talking stretching the gastrocnemius muscle, which is 2 bellies here that crosses the knee joint and goes into your thigh, whereas your soleus muscle stay below the knee, which is why you have to have your knees bent and take it out of the picture in order to stretch. So here, if it's a bit too awkward for your back and you're not sure your back is gonna like it to move closer to the wall, once you're ready, go back onto your side, go into that fetus position on your side, and then you lift your legs as you know your bottom is against the wall. Another option, if you want more support, I'm gonna grab this. You could use just a basic towel or a pillow. I'm using a bolster that I have, and I'm gonna use that to support the back. So that's one way, if you have a little bit of a back issue or your back is a bit too stiff, to put a pillow underneath your back like this can be very soothing and helpful. And just again, you could start with being away from the wall if you can't straighten the legs this far, or if you're too tight even in the hip here. So make sure to watch my video I just posted, the previous one, about the iliopsoas muscle and the stretch, how to stretch it on the ball and relax it. I have it in a few other places as well, from an early on video back in the winter of last year of 2021, but let's see here. So now my legs are straight, I have my back supported. I'm gonna put my left leg in front of my right one, so basically my left heel or Achilles tendon right here, kind of a bit of a combo here, is in front, touching my right toe. And I'm flexing my foot so that I'm getting a good stretch back here. So if you can't reach there, obviously, keep your knee bent at first, you know, even if both knees are bent, it's better than nothing. And then stretch that as much as you can. You can relax your arms out to the side, squeeze those shoulder blades together a bit, and then drop, pull those elbows into the side of your body and toward the wall. If you're using a wall, you may be using a table too if you want to go further and be more here, but yet have something back here to put resistance into. But let's keep it here for now. So here now I'm doing the other side, okay? So now my right leg is in front of my left, so I have my right heel and Achilles tendon that's resting and kind of, you know, putting some tension in front of my left toe. Let's relax our hands too. Open our hands, nice and open and relax as much as possible. Now you may not be able to do that if you have long arms. It happens that it works for me, but you might not be able to do that. I completely understand. If so, then bend your elbow, or just have your arms more out if you would touch the wall and it would not be comfortable. If you have long arms, which I do not have that already. So there you go, we've stretched, and you can go back and forth, flexing and pointing, just to give a break to your calves if that's a bit too much. Even bend your knee and go back and forth, relax. We're gonna even go into this position, give a break to the calves. They were feeling a bit tight. We had to turn the heat up. It actually was a bit cool because it is cold outside. We've had a few snowstorms now this month of January, and I like this weather, but you definitely have to find ways to keep warm in some ways, and not let your muscles seize up on you if you're cold. Also, hydration is important. So many things is important that makes it that your muscles don't cramp up. We should do nutrition / supplement video in that regards. There's so much to learn. And now we're gonna pull away from your body, your thighs and your knees. Give a bit of a stretch in your inner thigh as a variation, just to give a break from the leg straight up, which is very good. It helps at the end of a day where you're standing and working at a desk or moving around a lot, all of the above. Then it's good to recharge and you know, have that grounding session you give yourself after working, and having your legs up against the wall is very relaxing, and it's very grounding, and it's very good for your circulatory system and also your nervous system, as a matter of fact, since you're working on reconnecting your body and grounding yourself back with Mother Nature and inside your body. Okay, already, that's good. You can do that back and forth a few times just to get things moving. You may be a person who don't like to hold a position too long. It's good to vary it and not hold something too long. I may at times hold something longer than I would like to, but that's because I'm explaining it. I'm trying to give you as much of the thought process that goes in my mind, in my head with doing that movement. But there's so much involved that it does take longer than really the time that it would take to just do the exercise without me explaining it to anybody else. So that's why it's good to watch a video first that I make, and then once you have it, I might show the movement without all the explanation. That's what you want to repeat at a comfortable, slow pace, but yet not too slow and not too fast either, especially when you're talking stretches like this. Okay, all right, so now that my lower extremity is warmed up, I'm gonna, and I still have this, which is very comfortable, and I don't see why I would remove it. Actually, we're gonna leave the pillow for now, because I'm just gonna step away first, actually, because I need to use the big bolster. You're gonna be wondering why there's a big wedge pillow. So yeah, actually I have to change positioning because I'm gonna be using that. And this, and I'm gonna need also a towel. So I'm gonna go grab a towel, I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a towel. It's gonna help me when I'm gonna remove the pillow away here. I'll set it to the side for now, close enough that I can reach it. We could even use this at some point, so I'm gonna leave it within proximity. And I'm in a bit of an angle here, in the middle of my mat. Okay, so I want to basically have my my back as it arched back like this, to have my bolster in the middle there. You could start here if that's all you can do. If she's this tight, that's not a problem. But eventually, what I want to do, because I'm going to show you kind of the whole of the step that I can, as much as I can go, I want to be more like at the bra line or below the scapula bone, because that's gonna help me really get into that plow pose. So if that's too much, like I said, don't start with the pillow, the bolster, or whatever you can find to prop yourself up this high up. Start lower, closer to your hips, okay? And now your legs are gonna be up, and you're just gonna relax. So I keep the pillow for my head because I like that for my support. For now, I'm gonna move this to my pants here, because otherwise it's going to be way too close to my mouth, and you want to be able to hear me properly as much as possible, especially since my voice is going to get a bit weird, as it's going to obviously constrict my vocal cords and my breathing canal. So here I have my legs relaxed, open, my knees bent, like if I was holding the back on behind my knees, which you could do that to get a good stretch. And that's just working on stretching. Maybe position that. There we go. There we go. Now I have the pillow resting on my C6, C7 cervical, so that my neck is not jeopardized and those vertebrae are not being put too much pressure against the mat. So you want to make sure you have cushioning. For me anyway, I need to. You may not need to have that, but my vertebrae appreciate a bit of cushioning so that it's not being put so much pressure on by the mat. Even though the mat has some cushioning, it's still not enough for my spine. So you work with what you have. Use as many props as you need if you need them, or as little as you don't need them if you are fine without. But even if you're fine without, it's nice sometimes to experiment with them, and then it allows your body to see a stretch or pose or an exercise in a different way if we really go back to the basics and you know, imagine what it's like, let your body feel what it's like to work with assistance and with props. Some tissue you thought were completely fine and didn't need any assistance, they can use the assistance to allow more synchronicity or a change for your body to explore movements a bit differently. There's no wrong about that. So actually I might try and use that pillow instead of the towel, as I realize. But I'm gonna switch the widest side over my shoulders. There we go. Let's give it a try, and then I might not even need to use a towel because I'm using the my pillow instead. And I think it will work. I never thought about using this, but there we go. So as well, it's giving me a little bit of a wedge as well, since one side of the pillow is wider than the other side. I put the widest side closest to me to allow me that pivoting downward motion where my body with gravity and my legs going over my body will naturally. Actually, I'm going to slide down so that my head is around the side. That's the smallest, the contour, and allow for stretching. I want to be even further up on it. There you go. That's good. So now it gives me the height that I wanted. Pull the hair, and I just let my head, my legs, I mean, just do the work through just letting gravity and my legs do the work. Let your body, use your body as much as you can, and relax and stretch. Keep your neck nice and straight, so you're looking at the ceiling between your legs right now. That's what I am doing. You could have your legs nice tucked together and you're not seeing the ceiling, but I have my legs in such a way that they're pretty much straight, with my feet is somewhat flexed as well, or with my toes against the mat, but I have my legs apart where, as I said, I am staring at the ceiling. My arms are up above me, relaxed, just my hands holding together, left and right, left into right, or right into left, whichever. Relax and bend the knees. I'm gonna add the towel now. I'm gonna make it not as wide. And it's gonna be right here at the edge. It gives me support as well there. There we go. And let those shoulders drop down. Gonna bring the pillow over there for the wedge pillow closer to me so I can use it with my hands. And I'm gonna pull back. So here I'm gonna use my hands. So you could do this without any of these pillows. I'm using props. And flex your heel and pull as far back as you can. And go back down, and you're gonna switch. So I'm gonna have my hands here, and I'm gonna switch side, go back up, and it's my right foot touching the mat, my left foot touching my heel of my right side. Stretch your neck. you're gonna feel a stretch in the front thigh. So here in this thigh here, as I was in this position. Now that I've stretched my neck further, my spine with this bolster or that pillow, contour pillow, I'm gonna come off just rolling on my side. If you feel you're worried to do that, pull this pillow away and then take that here off. I'm just gonna use a towel now. That's gonna be basically on my C6, C7. I'm gonna go back on my fetus position, go back in here. I'm gonna slide this pillow higher up instead, and as long as I have exactly that towel on my spine, it's gonna give me the support I am looking for to not put stress on my cervical at the C6, C7. And now I should be able to go a lot further without any of the pillows. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Flex your foot, both of them. Breathe in, breathe out. And you can go back to center, and then we're gonna switch side. Take a breather, press your back of your legs and stretch there. Rock side to side. And keep your continuing with your breathing. Nice breath in and out. And I switch sides. So now we're gonna have the right leg above, which for me is my tightest side. So let's see what we're doing with that one. As far as the thigh is concerned. And flex your feet one at a time, and both when you're ready. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Back in center. Okay, so I'm gonna want to adjust my towel a bit. There we go. So I just moved up to keep my head away from the pillow. The towel. I really just want the towel for my cervical at C6, C7 right now, and really all the cervicals. Breathe in and breathe out. Pull those shoulders down if you can, pointing the elbows downward as opposed to up here. Keep your elbows down and have your thumb on the side of your hips or at the waist, and then the other fingers, all the fingers are on your hips and back. Breathe in, expand your stomach and pull in as you exhale. Breathing out through your mouth. Breathe in, expand your stomach. Breathe out, pull in and toward your spine and your belly button. And again, breathe in. Expand your stomach and let the oxygen in your lungs. And exhale. Pull the navel in toward your stomach and your spine. Straighten the legs and straighten your back upward as much as you can. That's gonna go deeper into a stretch of your calves and hamstrings. Bend your knees and then embrace this pose as you're into that flexed forward flexed posture. Breathing in and breathing out. Assist with your hands behind your knees. Just a gentle hold there as you keep breathing in and out through your nose, in and out through your mouth. Stretch your arms up above your head, straighten the knees and the legs as much as you can, and grasp your feet, your toes, with your hands. They're just really resting on top of my fingers, on top of the palm side of my fingers. My feet, my toes are, and just hold that. Pull those shoulder blades downward as you let your heels flex. You're gonna feel a stretch into here. Put your hands onto the bolster that's behind you at your feet and straighten. Put your legs close together and lift one leg up. Knowing that you have this, you're gonna use as to brace yourself and counteract the effect of one leg up. And flex your foot straight in the back. And back down with the right leg and switch. And point your toes as taut as you can toward the ceiling. Use your hands to support and flex your foot. And back down with your leg. Now we're going to come out of this slowly. Put your hands behind your back and let gently your back go back into neutral with the assistance of your bolster behind or towel or whatever it may be. And you're going to sit with that position for a moment. Good. Feet together, arms up above your head. I'm gonna brace my hands, clasp my hands and brace my neck. Give a little bit of a forward stretch to my neck. And also stretching my chest muscles. Push that belly in. You may feel things or feeling a bit different in the back. Just rock side to side. Very small, don't go big, otherwise you will fall to the side with your legs being on the bolster. Just nice slow movement side to side. Good. Now we're gonna have our hands on the floor and it's gonna allow you to go further, but you won't fall because you're using your hands as a counterbalance what you're doing with your torso, more at the hip with your thighs. And keep your knees bent. I'm flexing my feet a bit. Okay, so I'm flexing my feet here, rocking side to side. And then I'm gonna add a pillow for my head, just to give more support to my neck, as I am going to go back into that sitting up position. Eventually, I want to allow gravity to do its work for my body so that there is a least amount of discomfort, since I can get a bit of vertigo from time to time, even though it's been quite good, I'll have to say, lately. No major episodes. And now we're going to stretch one leg and we're gonna rotate. So as you pull one leg straight back, see if you can go as far as you can, touching the floor. If you can't, actually you don't need to, just straight the leg. If you didn't use the bolster for your bag here, I'm gonna slide back, there we go. You would more easily, but let's not challenge it, the back in extension this far. And we're just gonna, as I stretch one leg toward that way, straight, the other leg is bent toward me, and I'm assisting with my hands that are clasped into each other at the fingers, and alternating. Breathe in and out. Keep that foot flexed, or both of these feet flexed at this point. But I like to give it a change, so as I go through the transition, I point, and then I go back to flex. Otherwise, if you keep your muscles in one position too long, it's not good for them. So point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. Exhale, point and flex. Good, this was very good. So I hope you're enjoying this. When nice child pose on your back, chest, knees into chest, align your neck straight. Now I'm going to put my feet on the floor. I'm going to lift my hips up. We're going to do a few hips bridges, and you have the support of your pillow here. If you find a wedge pillow like this, is actually very good. And down, up, so this way you're not going all the way down with your body, and it gives you support. But make sure you keep your back relaxed. And now I'm gonna pull the pillow down out. There you go. And now I'm gonna have the floor. I'm gonna move up so I have the towel instead where the pillow was. There we go. And we're gonna repeat that a little bit. The bridge up and down. Have my toes. You don't want them all the way out. You don't want them all the way in either, because then you're gonna have your knees in. Just kind of a, it's pointing downward, but relaxed. Even if it's a little bit open, it's okay. And have the palm of your hands up. This way your shoulders are in a good position. They're open and not in internal rotation. Tilt the pelvis when you do this. So you're going to posterior tilt and neutral down. Posterior tilt and slowly down. Good. Now I'm gonna bring my knees again into my chest. And I like to do that twist motion. They go really well with a plow, I find. Straighten one leg. And stretch that calf further that you just worked on earlier. That's a perfect time to work on it now more. I like to close my eyes a lot. You may notice when I do these, it just gives me a sense of grounding and peace, and putting all of that's outside my body, just take it away from the equation. I'm gonna push this pillow here. There we go. Away and then allow me to really focus on me inside, as opposed to seeing the ceiling and the lights and whatnot, which can tend to make your mind focus on other things and tasks you may need to do. So by having your eyes closed, you're really allowing your body to really checking with your inner and focus there and sit with it. You can drop your arm a bit lower, this way your shoulder doesn't go up, and stretch down toward this way, toward your feet. And turn your head to the opposite side. Your legs are going. Straighten the leg up, the top one. See if you can touch with your hand toward the side that the leg is straightened, and toward the side where the legs are, the direction they are in. And bend. And now you're gonna have your hands on the floor, and you're gonna lift your body up as your arms are pushing down. We're gonna repeat this one more time on each side. You could do that 2-3 times, no problem, easily. I pull my shoulders on the opposite one to where my legs are turned. I'm pulling it, pushing it down into the floor. If you can't touch the floor, use a towel to give you that extra support. And I'll demonstrate it with the other side so you can see. There's not really any point with this side since the camera is over there. And you could do nerve flossing, pointing and flexing. Turn your head to the opposite side where your legs are. And you can open your eyes and go with your eyes as far as you can. Looking toward the mat. Arm downward. Arm open, palm of your hand face up. Bend your knees and go back to neutral. Press into the mat with your hands against your knees. Exhale, shoulders down, elbows down. And I'm gonna turn to the other side. So before I do that, I'm gonna slide that towel here so I can show you what I'm talking about. If you cannot touch, which actually this side on me, I would not touch necessarily as easily. This might be a little bit high, but it gives you a sense of, there you go. So you go from tuck here, knees together, stretch, press into your chest with your hands and knees, and turn to the side. So here you push down into the towel. I could have it just here, I believe. Double. And that would be good right there. Yeah. And then don't be on too high up. Downward. Your head looks to the opposite side where your knees are bent to, and go as far as you can with your head. Let's leave the eyes for now out of the question. And I'm gonna add the leg, bent leg, top leg. Straighten, the top leg, and flex your foot. So if you can reach with your hand, go ahead. If you can't, just put your hand on your thigh or behind your knee, and then eventually you'll work your way so that you can touch the bottom of your foot with your hand on the side that your knees are toward. And breathe out. Now you're gonna add the head a bit more to the opposite side where the legs are turned to, and you can add a bit of the eye movement toward the floor, toward the towel, toward your pillow. Use all of these props to your advantage. It gives you a lot of support. And now bend the top leg. Put your hands, make sure you push your arms down into the floor, and lift yourself back up into child, and press down into the knees with your hands and toward your chest. Make sure you push your head back into your pillows, slight chin down. Breathe in and exhale. Now let your legs open to the side, outside of your torso, and stretch this way. Good. Now let your feet on the floor. You turn on your side. And stay here in that position on your side for a moment. However long you need until you feel you could sit up, and you will be done. So I hope you enjoyed this exercise. I did include more than the plow, but if at some point in the progression of the plow you end up going to the full plow that I did, well, there's a few other difficulties, but this is already quite advanced. Make sure that you do the other exercises I did afterward, and really take your time. Even if you need more time than I did utilize, that is completely fine. Even if you have water, you want to sit up quickly, or you have one of those bottles where you could even drink out of it on your side, still laying down, then by all means take your time and get up at your own leisure. Even if this video is over, take your time and ground yourself before you go back to sitting position and standing position. All right, well, thank you so much for watching for another episode of Healthy Body by Sophie. Until next time, good afternoon or good morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe so you can get all of the updates as I keep creating videos, and comment so I can keep giving you variety. But in order to do that, I need to know your likes, your dislike, as well in the world of videography and photographing. My husband and I are all learning, so we always try to better ourselves each time. It's not always perfect, it's never perfect, but that's okay, because we keep trying to, every time we upload a video, make it much better, nicer, better flow, all those things that makes it that you enjoy hopping on with me and doing the exercises. That's my goal, to get you moving, active, feeling better, pain-free, less pain, more flexible. Just enjoy the next day more and more every day. All right, thank you so much. Namaste, and I'll see you next time.